Mourinho suffers his Moyes moment as Man United are outclassed by Liverpool. Had Manchester United left Anfield with a point, which they threatened to do for far longer than their performance merited, it would hardly have been less deserved. It would also have been entirely in spite of their manager, not because of him. Jose Mourinho used to be the master of these occasions, the big game spoiler. Now he can't even do that. If the 81 crosses United attempted against Fulham was the tipping point for David Moyes, so might the 36 shots Liverpool had on Sunday evening be the final nail for Mourinho. The Merseysiders ripped through their abject and unadventurous opponents, and even the 3-1 scoreline did not do full justice to the gulf in quality. United are now closer to bottom-placed Fulham than league leaders Liverpool, while they have been cut 11 points adrift of the top four. The opening exchanges set the tempo. United's back three rather curiously went man-to-man against Liverpool's front three and had to try and resist an onslaught of overlapping red shirts. A backline that had Eric Bailly thrust into it at the last minute was chaotic and disorganized, a spaghetti bolognese of a defense, according to Gary Neville, though the home side, as has strangely been the case this season, lacked finesse and composure in the final third. Nevertheless, the only surprise when Sadio Mane opened the scoring was that it took so long. Fabinho found his teammate with a perfectly lofted ball over the top of the defense, and he duly poked the ball under David Moyes to end a 5-game goal drought. In that opening 15-minute salvo, Liverpool's front three touched the ball 35 times between them. Romelu Lukaku touched the ball just 3 times over the same period, and 2 of those were in his own box. Roy Keane and Gary Neville slam Man United star for what he did before Liverpool clash. Roy Keane reveals what scares him most about Jose Mourinho's Manchester United side. Jose Mourinho what David Moyes said in dressing room after Man United's defeat to Liverpool, but rather than open the floodgates, the goal seemed to dull Liverpool's senses. The tempo dropped and the crowd relaxed. How could they possibly concede against such a timid and witless United team? It was like a sucker punch when Jesse Lingard equalized, pouncing on a mistake by Alisson. It took Liverpool a long time to recover, but the decision to bring on Xherdan Shaqiri, who has thrived in a deeper, more creative role, was inspired. The Swiss netted twice in the second half, admittedly both with the aid of deflections, and brought more creativity and risk-taking to a side that had fallen into the trap of taking pot shots from range. United were crying out for such invention, but when Mourinho turned to his bench he brought on Marouane Fellaini rather than Paul Pogba. Before the game, the Portuguese coach had spoken of the need for more aggression, intensity and simplicity in his midfield, 3 things Pogba is hardly noted for. But in shunning his most creative talent, Mourinho lost the ability to transition from defense into attack effectively and gain little in the way of defensive solidity in exchange. In the end, Mourinho simplified his side's approach to the point of non-existence. The stats are damning. United mustered just 2 shots on target to Liverpool's 11, conceded the most shots in a single Premier League game since the 2003-04 season, recorded their worst passing accuracy of the season and racked up just 35% possession. Incredibly, they have now conceded 1 more goal this season, 29. Than they did in the entirety of last year. And it's still December. United have gone backwards. And yet part of you suspects that Mourinho will be relatively pleased with Sunday's result, given that it was only a 2-goal margin and not much worse. After the game he spoke of his side's calmness, of being in control, while barely even recognizing what a battering his side had been subjected to. This United team will not win the title anytime soon. They probably will not finish in the top 4 either. Yet not only is Mourinho culpable for this latest decline, he seems entirely oblivious to it too. Things cannot go on like this for much longer. Gary Neville slams Manchester United midfielders during defeat to Liverpool. Jose Mourinho explains why he benched Paul Pogba for Man United's clash with Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp explains why James Milner misses Manchester United clash.